This is it for all the marbles. And as was said in the race time room by Osse, playing for the 2-week vacation, to which I said, to the Maldives! I mean, not like these two aren't already playing from the Maldives in the comfort of their overwater bungalows. And
I
are
think
getting,
Osse's in Norfair, actually. If you
I
look at his
mean,
background.
I mean, yeah, definitely Norfair. I mean, can we get a Nitro cam one of these days is all I'm saying. Do we gotta start a GoFundMe for him? I have an extra webcam.
Nitro's not actually a person. He's an AI generated to
Yeah,
play Super Metroid. That's how he scans
I'm,
the map so fast.
I mean, clearly, and may or may not be Osse versus Osse. Osse literally may be playing just the AI version of himself.
Well,
Someone in
Osse
chat is very
triumphed
hyped
over
about Phantom.
the Osse AI in Game 2. We are moving on to Game 3, the Metroid's objectives that chat was so excited for. Of course, the runners need to kill all 4 Metroid rooms, clear all 4, and then defeat Metroid or Mother Brain 1. Don't need to find ammo or charge to deal with Mother Brain 2. Just got to kill the Metroids, break the first phase of Mother Brain, and get out of Zebas. Here's our third area of the seed already, 50 seconds in. Started in Meridia, went to Bryn, now we're here in Norfair. Still can't get any items, though. It's a pretty close map. See if Nitro's able to get it. Here's an item for Osse. See if that's any good. If this is Morph Ball, then that will open up a lot more.
Would.
Meanwhile, Nitro gets that cool jump. There was the Morph Ball it looked like for Osse. And of course, that doesn't even lead to the map. Just dead ends at a farm room. The classic.
Osse gets the morph.
Yeah, I assume Osse's going to do the same thing, though. Try to get to that map.
Any orbs in chat? Any orb fans? Nevdy morphs?
Well, no Nevdy Morph this time. There's a Power Bomb pack, so that's going to help us quite a bit. Now, we'll see if Osse wants to go for this Norfair map. He's going to get the bad news again, if he does what Nitro did.
Though the early explosives, definitely interesting.
Yeah, I didn't see where these
Do
power
it, Osse.
bombs
Gravity
open up.
jump it. Do it. Show off.
What's happening?
Show off. And farm room.
Yeah, Osse getting that jump a little bit faster than Nitro, but unfortunately going all the way back for the power bombs and then back again to try to get that map costed a lot of time in the early routing. So Nitro is in a bit of a lead here in these early goings.
Yep, as Nitro is back into...
There's a power bomb door right here? It is.
Meridia,
Okay,
yes, it
so that's what
is.
the power bomb's open. Osse also going to check this item here. I don't think Nitro scouted it. It's a little bit tricky. There's a charge beam.
Oh, well, of course, the 1 seed to that doesn't. We don't need it for.
For Nitro, doesn't need the charge. Now it shows up. Osse's really struggling with this. I don't think he even checked the item. I think he just gave up. Oof, that's tough. Well, that's not logic.
Torian hoppers. Now where do you go?
Do we go? I wonder. Yeah, the charge doesn't put those Turian hoppers in logic, right? Like, that's not a thing.
I mean, can you pseudo screw over them? I don't think you can.
I also don't think you can. It looks like Nitro might be trying.
This would be a brutal 4-minute try. That's what you're gambling on right now. Nitro's just gonna stay away.
Yeah, okay.
Nope, not in logic. If Osse isn't doing it, it's not in logic.
Well, it's not in logic. I was wondering if Osse would do it anyways. He actually needs to farm up some health, though. It's going up a heated elevator. If he just goes up the elevator, he dies. So, gonna need to be a bit aware of that fact. And he is. Takes these nice little farms over here. Wants another power bomb as well. Gets one pretty quickly, actually. Nothing to worry about. Oh, Nitro.
Yeah, this is really the only path we have left.
Yeah. A little bit scary, but Nitro
Yep.
makes it through.
Yep. And that's your nice reward. Big Beans Room, otherwise known as Big Pink. Shout out Cool Beans.
It's like this is what the power bombs actually opened up, getting into Big Pink.
Double explosives before we get our first missiles. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if either runner can do the clip out of that area, so I know Nitro. Right? Don't think Nitro does.
Oh my gosh!
Well, we need a super missile to get to the bottom of that, but we can break in through the bottom if we find a super.
We going bowling?
Well, no, we can skip bowling, go under the alley, grab those majors through the spore spawn back door.
Oh, hi, GT.
Nitro immediately leaving the rapidly descending Chozo or Torizo.
Yeah, when I first started doing commentary, I thought it was chorizo because Chozo. I thought people were saying chorizo, not chorizo. I'm like, there's no way they're saying chorizo. So I kept calling bomb chorizo, golden chorizo. And then people were like, it's chorizo. It is not a spicy sausage.
Ooh. Find a Metroid room. Nitro not going to bother with that just yet, but with that power bomb pack, he can do it. Can get a nice early Metroid room. And with that dead ending, I might be more tempted to. Nitro just going to keep going back down, though.
Which Metroid room number was it? Was it 1 or 3?
It was either 1 or 3. I think it was 3.
Okay. So, folks, let's just get this out of the way with now. Here's how we are going to be marking on the tracker. It is KPDR. So, Metroid Room 1 corresponds to Kraid, 2 to Phantoon, 3 to Dragon,
Nitro.
4 to the Space Pelican. Nitro, please.
That was
nice
a critical big health drop.
That was clutch.
Oof. Anyways, continue.
Oh no, that was it.
I'm actually seeing both runners.
I don't know if you
farming
saw it there, Derp, on Nitro's cam, but he legitimately was starting to sweat.
Oh, I can tell, yeah.
Matter of fact, Nitro was sweating so hard at trying to escape out of that room to not take an 8-minute loss, the camera crashed. I mean, clearly.
There's Mission Impossible, but without the supers, we still can't do that, so... The lack of super missiles seems to be gating us everywhere we look. Wonder where those could be.
Alright, chat, where you hiding our supers? Who has them? Who has our supers?
Maybe Mother Brain has them, or had
Maybe.
them. Nope.
Nope.
Just a missile.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
There's Metroid room 1.
One. That's one. So we've seen 1 and 3. Osse. Osse! Osse, please. Oh, dear.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh,
That's a big reset, too.
boy.
That's all the way before
Oh,
doing
dear.
the...
That's time to cry. Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
it's not as bad as it could have been, because there was that save
No.
up the Bryn elevator, so Osse did lock in the morph and the power bombs, but...
Nitro, please.
Not great. Nitro's in a similar situation. I didn't see what was on the other end of that room, but whatever it was, Nitro did not want it. And also doesn't want to deal with that room right now, so...
What's a refill? According
Okay.
to the
Well,
Lopter.
wait, then I definitely would have done those Metroids there, no? I feel like not doing
You have to know
a
how to
Metroid room there.
manipulate them.
It's tough, but I think it's a mistake not doing it.
Yeah. Nitro
Oh, well.
back in the lead for now.
It's not a huge deal, though. Again, there's the other Metroid room as well that Nitro will probably come back to once he's in a bit more comfortable of a position.
Mhm.
But
Spine Shark, if I yell, someone is going to clip it, and then people are going to start laughing. Because I tried yelling earlier for Plasma Beam in Game 1, and it didn't go so well.
Nitro getting through
Stupid
this
congestion.
Metroid Room 3. I don't remember what was over here. I think Osse saw it and then tried to get back and died. Just a tank, it looks like. Not even a good one.
Yes. Save early, save often, chat.
Osse also not going to do this Metroid room yet. It is a bit tricky. I should... Obviously, they can technically do them, but I should not criticize the runners too much. Doing Metroid rooms on just 5 power bombs, no other movement items, is not particularly easy.
Nope. Even for the 2 seed and the 3 seed. What is easy, though, Derp, is following these racers on their Twitch accounts, !R. Give them a follow. !C if you want to follow the commentary and tracking team. That is easy. And honestly, the best way to follow along with all 3 brackets is to join the Discord.
Okay, yeah. There's our super. I figured that had to be supers at this point.
Right.
Of course, it is in the last possible spot we check, and now I don't think Nitro does the fancy bomb jump, so it's gonna have to bomb jump the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
This Ripper is
And
being
there it is.
obnoxious.
Blue Vinyl drops the Discord link. Go to the tourney info page. Go check out all 3 brackets over there. And if, Derp, if you need me, I don't know what's worse and what's longer, this or Shack Tool. So I'm gonna finish my ice cream, take a nap, go run some errands. Let me know when they're done and we can get back to commentary.
Looks like Osse is going to try to get this Metroid room out of the way now. Grouping them up. Needs to get over to the 3rd one. I think one of them is too far away now. No, this should be fine. And that's first Metroid room down. Room 3 down for Osse. Nitro is immediately taking the super back to Mission Impossible and the bottom of bowling. No surprise there.
Yep.
Do we know where the map is in Bryn?
I haven't seen it yet. All that for an energy tank.
I mean, you'll take more energy. You seen the seed?
I have. And it's a seed that chat definitely wants to play.
Nitro actually not gonna go for the bowling item. Obviously there are 2 items. Nitro can only get 1 without that speed booster, but I think I would have checked it. I wonder if this is an overlook from Nitro. But overlook you or not, Nitro is heading back. Actually, there is a non-zero chance. This is just a safety save, and then Nitro's going to do these Metroid rooms. We'll see where he decides to go. Okay, now I'm going to go down the elevator. That would be maybe a little too far for a safety save.
Even with the extra energy tank, it doesn't look like Nitro feels comfortable.
Yeah, this much energy does put the this room in logic, the Turian hoppers, so...
Yeah, they just do a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yeah.
150 it looked like.
Nitro almost getting hit a second time. Unfortunately, we don't have a good room for the setup to go through it left or right. So Nitro's going to have to be careful with his health.
Ooh, this could be big. If this is ice, it's huge for Nitro.
Yeah, these two items are not in logic, and they will not be very good. Although another energy tank is nice. Not going to skip that.
Oh, Nitro's just showing off now.
Yeah, this little trick is not in hard logic, but it is very important to know, I would argue.
Alright, I just want to say this, Derp. I don't like wall jumping to begin with. Doing underwater, I don't like doing consecutive tight wall jumps because I haven't even mastered that. Doing what Nitro just did, how fast do your fingers have to go back and forth to be able to pull that off?
It's not actually back and forth. He's actually just holding a direction and mashing jump because the corridor that he's jumping through is so tight that he just keeps wall jumping off the same wall. He doesn't need to do any fancy inputs. It's just hold right, mash jump. Ooh, this is not a great room either.
Sam, that is not encouraging to those of us who haven't got to that level of expertise. Sam just casually says, Derp, that it's actually not bad. It's it's one-way press every 10 frames-ish.
I mean, that's what I said. Oh, Nitro is not making this.
Nitro!
Fortunately, it does have the safety save. There's a screw attack for Osse in that item that Nitro skipped. Screw attack is going to be pretty helpful. I'm not really sure where the game wants us to go, though. Actually, I do. I think that screw attack is what gets us through that room that Nitro was just in, the fast pillars. So here Nitro is coming back. We'll see if that's what he wants to do. What Nitro wants to do is go get that item that he skipped. Looks like that's the case.
Chat's saying that screw attack put hoppers into logic.
Okay, so... What was past hoppers again? It was the energy, the energy tank. So
yeah, that thing.
Putting hoppers in logic doesn't really do anything for us because that item still isn't in logic without high jump.
That's right.
Yeah, it was watering hole. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Nitro does here. He might take this time to finally clear out these Metroids. With that screw attack, the rooms are a lot easier to manage. So that would be a good time. I don't think Osse did the other Metroid room. He only did the one. He only did room 3. Actually, looks like Nitro is going to try to get through
Rising Tide.
Rising Tide.
Here we go through Rising Tide and Osse through fast pillars. Screw attack does make a lot of this easier, but now Nitro's gonna need a mega farm here, and well, that's a fun room.
This sucks. What the heck? This might lead to the map, though.
Do it, Nitro. Do it. Tank the map. Crab hole. Hold. Ooh, bubbly nut.
This might be Fantoon, which
Fantoon,
would be
yeah.
pretty awkward. Yeah.
Hello, Fantoon.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that Nitro is resetting out. I think you do fight Fantoon here, though.
Oh, you absolutely fight Fantoon. You get the map and then you reset. Why you no listen, Nitro?
Huh, that's interesting. So what is Nitro up to then? You want that screw attack? I wonder what he's thinking here. Is he gonna try to get through?
Oh, to Ruby Major.
To the map?
To... Look at all the energy. That's something. So we get 2 majors here in Meridia, but not 1 Metroid room.
Yeah, one of them's gonna be a bit tough for Osse to get with the pretty low health still. Alright, so we'll see if Nitro is able to get through this without the screw attack. Took a hit from the Puyo pile.
Puyo, Puyo, Puyo.
Alright. This is looking much cleaner for Nitro. Takes a little bit of damage at the end, but he makes it through. It's now going to be close to Osse. Unfortunately, he's going to have to use that same strat to get back. Still not going to have access to the screw attack. Interesting sound effect there.
That wasn't
I don't know if
interesting.
that got caught on the broadcast. Here's the first major for Osse. It's a nice one. Not really what we're looking for, though. Like a suit or a ice beam. Hey, look at that. We've got ourselves an ice beam.
There you go. That's the beam that's needed for this seed. Or for this mode, rather.
Yep. Assume we'll see Nitro head down that way as well. Get those 2 items.
I mean, if he wants to win, then he should definitely go for those majors. Throwing for content here is not something I would do in a Game 3. Not advised.
I've heard Nitro is a big fan of winning generally, so I'd expect him to do that.
I mean, pretty much. I also don't know if you can tell. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but right now Nitro has a giant smile across his face. And Nitro just got delivered ice cream. And now... Oh, then I mean, see, you all can't see this, but Nitro's entourage just got there. And is currently fanning him with palm tree leaves. So Nitro's living it up. Osse out here trying to grind to this Torian map.
Yeah, Osse's living the rough life here in the superheated caverns of Norfair. Just trying to make a living.
Just pretty much.
Alright. Nitro. I'm gonna get this health refill. I didn't see if there was a save. Oh, Nitro. That was a bit close.
Here we go. Metroid Room 2.
Metroid Room 2, that's a big double major at the
triple.
Mama Turtle.
3 majors. That's Bomb Teresa's for the major. Chorizo.
Right.
I don't think I've ever actually had chorizo. Chat! Someone make me chorizo. And derp. And of course, laptop.
I'll get back to you on that one. So Osse can get back up Main Street with the ice and high jump. Although it's a little bit awkward with just ice freezing these enemies. They take a lot of shots. But Osse is a very good RBO runner. He knows how to do this room. I am kind of surprised that, oh, that's not good for Nitro. Oh, wait, no, he's going down. I'm silly. My bad. I'm kind of surprised Osse didn't go for the close major. Actually opted to climb all the way up to Mama Turtle and then go back down to Criteria in the last major, it looks like. We'll see if Nitro decides to do the same thing. I might be tempted to just check Criteria now. Grab that major and go to C.
Yep. We'll see what proves to be the deciding factor here.
It depends on what these majors are. Looks like Nitro is also going back up.
Makes sense.
Oh, Osse sees a Spazer Beam, not going to bother with that.
And Spring, that helps. No gravity yet.
Not the best items, but something.
Oh boy. Osse. Nice. Chat's saying I need better Mexican restaurants where I am. I'm not the biggest fan of super spiced, and typically when I go to a Mexican restaurant, I do enjoy a good quesadilla.
Oh. It's like Nitro has had enough of this intended strats. Gonna cheat instead.
Oh, Nitro.
But unfortunately, that didn't work out for him either. So now he might just go for this major down here, which, believe it or not, might go better for him, given that those other two majors were nothing.
Nice aqueduct.
All right, so what is this major over here gonna be?
Gravity.
If it is, it's gonna be a big deal. Remember game one, Osse didn't get that gravity suit and ended up in a pretty rough spot because of it.
I mean, he wanted to get gravity. He just couldn't execute the hard jump to get it, Nitro!
Okay, it's fine. Everything's okay. Goodness.
Pardon me. Nitro has to set up CWJ and misses terribly.
Springball puts this in logic. I don't think HBJ is in hard logic, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think is CWJ in logic?
Well, CWJ is not in hard logic, but I think HBJing is.
Ooh.
There are a few majors over there on the left.
Couple majors, and look at those. We got double majors in. What do you call it?
It's actually Bomb Chorizo that Nitro is coming up on.
Bomb Chorizo. Nitro turns off the boots and executes a CWJ.
There we go. All right, what is this item?
Grab.
Well, it's not bad. Not what Nitro is looking for, though.
Raffle. I mean, yeah.
Osse goes all the way for a wave beam.
There's the wave beam. I mean, can we get some waves and wave beam for chat, please?
I mean, at this point, whatever the majors are, at least one of them has to be good, right? Even if one of them's plasma, the other one has to be a suit, speed. I guess it could be plasma X-ray, but that would be a little bit crazy over at West Ocean.
What a Metroid seed.
This is definitely a Metroid seed.
Half-assed a good question. Wonder if either runner is feeling good right now. I mean, they have to be, because Path, you're in chat. You're rooting them on. So duh. But in all seriousness here, yeah, no, this is pretty bad. Osse
Well, here's a
needs to
couple
see
majors.
suits. It's not a...
In Criteria.
Where are our suits?
Well, for Nitro, there's one sandpit item, although it's gonna be a little bit tricky to get that without the spring ball. And then there's one item over here in Green Hill. So good chance that one of these is a suit, given how many items we've seen. And if it's gravity, suddenly this isn't looking so bad for Nitro.
Varia,
That's
for
pretty good too.
Nitro. He finds the giant glowing atom.
Right, so Osse is gonna finish clearing out those Metroid rooms in Bryn. There's one more that he didn't do on the first pass.
So this is a problem for both racers, and I'm going to tell you why. We have such a problem for Nitro. Oh, my bad. Osse's going back to the other Metroid room. This is a bad problem for Nitro. Osse is now going to be so far and away in the lead. He's got 3 Metroid rooms down. Nitro's got 0. And even with that speed booster, you need to pull out all the stops.
The best case for Nitro, and this isn't actually that unreasonable to happen, is Mother Brain here in Bryn and the last Metroid room in Wreck Ship.
I think they're both in Wreck Ship, because I don't think we've seen Mother Brain yet, have we?
No, but we haven't seen Bryn map either. Nitro wasn't able to get it.
It's true.
Could also be a speed lock for something. That could matter as well. But I don't think there's anything more in Bryn that can speed lock. Yeah, as chat pointed out, we did see Bubble Mountain. That is a pretty typical Mother Brain spot.
And we know Bubble Mountain has Phantoon.
Yep, that it does. Have we seen any of the speed locks this seed? I don't know if we have.
I think so.
Doesn't look like Nitro's going to Wreck Ship though. I think it's up Fish Tank.
Did you see Osse's reaction? Like, really?
Or is this the way to Wreck Ship? I forget.
Wreck Ship, top left of Criteria.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the up door to get there was. I thought it was up Fish Tank.
I don't remember.
Well, I'm sure Nitro knows. I am confident.
Lopto's asking what's up door. Wreck Ship is one of the upper doors in whatever room it is. Nice Phantoon fight from the Osse. Yo, Speedrunners Arena, welcome in. What's up, Reamsy?
Alright, so Nitro not going to Wreck Ship is pretty bad, because it's not likely this various suit's going to make too much of a difference.
Yeah. I'm going to give Speedrunners Arena a very quick shout out. If you're a fan of Super Metroid speedrunning, go give them a follow. And if so their SM ladders are for anyone that wants to get involved in Super Metroid speedrunning. So if you're new to the community and this might look a little too intimidating for you, go check out Speedrunners Arena, because I've raced in there and I've done well. It's meant to be very beginner friendly. Up to, we get racers like Sunwoo Farmer, Heaven's Titans, Kaiserton, and Anthony Sunwoo Farmer, all of them. So give them a check out if you like Super Metroid randomizer running. We're also going to be holding a Mega Man X tournament this summer. Nitro
So we saw
might be thinking about another tournament right now because he is so incredibly far behind. what do you think is in Nitro's head right now? Derp, you're a high level. What has
I think
to be
Nitro
going
is
through Nitro's
more
head?
upset about himself, about the how much he's struggling in Main Street than about the seed. I'm not gonna lie. We did see Metroid Room 4 in the top right of Bryn. It was not speed locked. It is behind Cack Alley, which we saw earlier, but Osse, with high jump in space, is able to do the relatively easy underwater wall jump because you don't need to land on a ledge. You can just do the wall jump and then break the plane. I find this to be a lot easier, personally. And Osse is very good at this, so needs to get a little more height. There we go.
Wow, nicely done, Osse.
Yep, nice and easy. This brings us up to Metroid Room 4. And then
Osse's-
Mother Brain is somewhere in Wreck Ship, it looks like.
Yep. So for what it's worth, Osse is in the go mode. Chat warning about energy. There's no Mother Brain 2. Oh yeah, Chrono, Freddy Duck, Anthony. Bad at Metroid. Tons of great people over there. Don't give Speedrunners Arena a follow. Osse, my goodness, my guy. Does Cack Alley even bother you, Osse?
Clearly not. I think these are too far apart to wall jump up for Nitro. Alright, does get... Finally, it gets the underwater wall jump. Nitro is not going to be happy with how these are gone, but is finally able to get one of these. But for Osse, his decision to leave Criteria for last was rewarded. You know, he knew he had to go back for that Metroid room in Bryn, so coming back up wasn't a mistake per se. Arguably the better play, but it certainly paid off. And now Osse is looking to be in a very commanding lead. The only shamble he could have is if Mother Brain is speed locked and he doesn't go for any majors, which I don't expect him to go for, since he doesn't need them. But even then, I think Osse is in a pretty commanding position. Alright, Nitro is finally up Main Street. We've made it. I think once again Nitro knows with how much he's been shambling in this room, he's probably pretty far behind. But not much you can do about it right now. Nitro will play until the bitter end. We'll at least get the good news that these majors that he could have gotten earlier aren't anything good. So some solace there. Although, maybe wanted that spring ball. Gonna get a bit of a high five here, I think, if Nitro does his Metroid room fast enough. Unfortunately, not looking like the case. The Metroid's not cooperating. Osse just gonna dodge the high five, going down. Unfortunate. Osse making sure he hasn't seen Mother Brain somewhere, just double checking that he does need to go to Criteria. That's a really tight mock ball there for Nitro. Really low jump. I didn't see what was over here. It's another connector to Norfair. I don't know what's over in this part of Norfair, though. Oh, this is the map. I see. There was another far major over here at Mickey Mouse. 50-50 for that to be either plasma or gravity. Chat, am I coming through?
You're good on my end, Arp.
Well, that's good. Wix fan too busy ordering chorizo.
Food. No, WX fan was too busy looking at fantasy football draft stuff.
Season's pretty far away, is it not?
Not for dynasty leagues, it's not. We're not when you're in the middle of a rookie draft. Football season never ends for me. Year round. I'm actually quite surprised people in Twitch chat are complaining that I wasn't talking.
We're just you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? You know, we're so used to your voice when suddenly it's not coming through. It's like it's so empty in here.
I mean, you know, it's like their speakers got a little reprieve.
Nitro gonna get the bad news that these two majors are also nothing. Although the space jump is pretty nice to have.
Oh, that was a nice little step there.
A little Metroid, or the Mocktroid ladder.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, Osse. And he did that, like, in synchronization as well. Ah, fish tank. Fish.
You think a place called Fish Tank would have more than like 3 fish?
Yeah, I think it has more pirates than it does fish. Why do... I mean, I guess we call it fish tank because of the fish, but still.
It's a big rectangle with fish in it. Makes sense that it's Fish Tank.
Pretty much.
Pretty good chance that Mother Brain is connected to this room. There's a lot of left and right doors.
Mm-hmm.
But also gonna head for the map first.
Fun fact, if anybody's ever in Boston, alright, you need to go to the New England Aquarium, because you talk about fish tanks, most of the main building is this giant cylindrical fish tank with so many different kinds of fish in it. Very, very fun. You're gonna walk up all around the sides of the fish tank. Very fun if you're ever in Boston looking for something to do. Highly recommend. We get so much to do here in New England.
So Osse found Mother Brain. Over here, through a couple heated rooms. Osse is going to take a farm, just to be safe. Actually, just doesn't need the supers.
Need soups. Yes, penguins divine, absolutely. The penguins are so cute. Penguins on the bottom. The tank in the middle. Alright, here we go. Again, no Mother Brain 2. You just need to beat Mother Brain 1. 18 projectiles. And finish doing the damage. Escape timer time, chat!
Yep. No Mother Brain 2, so it's just on the escape, and we're only one area away, so this shouldn't be too 45.
Long.
I'm surprised it was that long. I thought it was going to be closer to a minute, but yeah. I have been undershooting so far today. We actually have to go through Pants Room. That's why it's so long. We have to do a pretty awkward loop to get back.
Pants Room, Pants Room.
But yeah, once we get to that loop, we're already basically at the entrance to Criteria. Got to go down Fish Tank and then all the way to the right. The ship was on the bottom right of the area, so should be a fairly straightforward escape.
Yeah. Congratulations, Steve-O. You guessed it right on the money. What a series this has been, Derp.
It's been a fantastic series. Obviously, I don't think the runners are going to be super happy. There have been some shambles from both through this series.
Oh,
but
absolutely. Neither one can be happy about this, but still.
It's been fantastic to watch. We've really seen the strengths of both runners. You also see why Osse picked the Varia plus water movement category, because his water movement in this game 3 has been phenomenal.
It really
that was a big
has.
issue with Nitro, getting through those water rooms without gravity. Osse was cruising, and you see the advantage he has pulled from that. Of course, for Nitro, the tournament is not over. He will be going down to the lower bracket to face the winner of Zeb versus Nevdi. So it's a pretty scary side of the lower bracket. Zeb Nevdi Nitro is not a fun series of matchups.
Nope. No, it is not. And Derp, you've got a matchup here against Mo coming up soon. It's Thursday.
Yeah. Lower bracket matches starting to reach the end. But speaking of reaching the end, Osse has finished with an official time of 45:48. Race time still isn't working, so we'll just go with this timer and what that says. But either way, he's going to finish the series 2-1, advancing to the winners finals against Eddie, and continuing his run in the tournament. GG's to Osse.
GG's Osse, GG's Nitro. Really expected nothing else from these two amazing runners. They dominated. They did an outstanding job. Very happy for them. And that will do it there. We are now waiting on the racers for a little post-game interview. Nitro is currently being fed grapes from his minions.
Yeah, we are joined by the victorious Osse. GG's.
GG's, Osse.
Hey, GG. Good games. They were weird.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Here is Nitro. GG's, Nitro.
GG.
Yep, GG Nitro.
Trying to think. There's a lot of things happened in that series, like you said. I guess we'll start from the beginning. Game 1. The big difference was.
Go ahead,
Let me
Osse.
start at the beginning. So, first game, I felt like I made a lot of mistakes and was just playing bad. And then between games, was able to like reset, step away, and felt like the rest of the series was going like how I wanted it to. And so I was feeling much better in games 2 and 3. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the big difference in that game 1, obviously you're trying to clip down the powerbomb bridge in green elevator. Also the going back for plasma, that was a little bit rough as well.
That was cringe.
So I guess I'll ask Nitro as well how he felt about that first seed.
I mean, the first seed was fine, of course. I was honestly pretty nervous, just because of how poorly the ammo went. But I guess with the early game going a lot better for me, it was enough to be okay.
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. Osse ended up blinding into the Dragon, I believe it was, in Bryn. Didn't go for all the power bombs because all the X's there were PBs.
Wow.
So I actually made up a lot of time there. It was still not super close, but Osse was very far behind and made up a lot of time at the end of that game.
I think if I got plasma on the first visit to Kraid, it wouldn't have made the difference.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It would have been very close if that was the case,
Very
but
close.
I do think Nitro was still ahead enough. So, and that brings us to game 2. I'm trying to remember what that seed was. If y'all can
That seed,
give your
it felt like
thoughts.
go mode, or at least boss knowledge, was really early. And so you just have to panic, find a way to kill bosses.
Oh, I remember what happened in that seed. It was Nitro going for those far majors and getting as owned as possible, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
Triple
wow.
major, bombs, X-ray spring ball, 8-minute time loss, just nothing you can do. And it just was the worst possible situation it could be as well, with everything else, with all the good majors being in the one area you don't go to. I imagine Osse probably played ammo to finish that.
Yes.
I wouldn't imagine you got charged. Yeah, no, but
Yeah, I skipped the 3 majors, played ammo.
yeah, it was just like the worst possible situation. And then, because like all the other majors, Criterion Wreck Ship are just nothing and a huge waste of time. And yeah, I shouldn't have lost as much time as I did, of course. I just couldn't get the ice clip and was getting a little unlucky with powerbomb drops. So it just like took way longer than it needed to. And the Fantoon. Yeah, like it was just like worst possible scenario at every turn.
It was kind of funny. Aussie went for the 5 super Fantoon, and you went all the way out of your way for a missile and ended up killing
Yeah.
Fantoon at basically the same time.
Yeah, I didn't find the close missile. There was a just pick the right door, you get a missile right away, but I did not pick the right
No.
door.
I picked the close doors, didn't see anything, just went for it.
Right.
And yeah,
then
I went to Criteria and Wreck Ship looking for ammo. Criteria had like a good amount.
yeah, you ended up with I think 35 supers, right?
Yeah.
At the end of that one.
Yeah.
So it did work out. And then that brings us to the Game 3 Metroid seed. I guess first I do want to ask Aussie, you ended up banning double suit. I know you've had some thoughts on that mode before, so I'll ask now, like what was your thought process going into the pick and ban?
My plan was in advance to ban double suit. I don't really like it. It just opens up the map too much to do random things. There's too many choices that you can't do. Whereas, like no objectives and Metroids, like they feel pretty I don't know, lower finish requirement type of modes, but you can still like play the randomizer. It's gonna be even, and just blind the right ways. I guess. I think they're more
Right.
interesting, the double suit. That's the important part.
Fair enough. So in the seed itself, if I remember correctly, y'all were fairly close for a lot of the early game. There's a little bit of back and forth. I think the big difference was when y'all got the map that was in Main Street. I think that was Meridia? Question mark? Turian, sorry. But that was the big divergence point where Aussie went all the way back up and Nitro kept going down. I think he tried to get up initially, ended up just heading down to Criteria.
The next map.
That ended up working much better for the person who went up, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Criteria had speed in Varia, but very slowly.
Okay. I got speed on the way to Wreck Ship later. Yeah, I was happy when I went back up. Ran to all the Metroids I missed.
Yeah, it was a little scary when the 2 Mama Turtle items kind of popped nothing. But then all the rest of the Metroid rooms being up and Mother Brain being down, it just worked out.
Yeah, I think the Brinstar map was hard to get to because there were no saves and we were still low energy. So it just wasn't safe to do. But that would have told you everything you needed to know.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me, Nitro, you made it to Bubble Mountain kind of early on, saw it was Fantoon, and actually reset out of it.
Yeah, I mean, there was gonna be no way out, so...
Right.
I mean, yeah, like I could do the Fantoon fight. I'm just sort of playing. I already felt so terrible with how the early game went that I was just like, playing to not have to do it. But in hindsight, yeah, you probably should just do the Phantoon fight before you reset it. May as well.
You don't
That,
need the kill in this mode.
Yeah. My plan was, since I'd already, blinded the 2 Metroid rooms, was to just not have to get that map, was to hopefully find Mother Brain and the other Metroid room somewhere else. So I just don't have to do the Phantoon fight ever. That's the real reason I skipped it. I just wanted to try to avoid it
That's reasonable.
entirely.
If you get 2 Metroid rooms in a region, you don't expect a third to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's kind of a bigger discussion about game balance. Obviously, these seeds are pretty much randomly generated, but there have been a lot of seeds where like there's 2 or 3 bosses in one area, or there are 2 or 3 Metroid rooms. I know some people are not super happy with that. It creates some pretty unbalanced maps. I don't know if y'all have any thoughts on that.
I don't really have many thoughts about the balance of maps because I just compare it to like the expert challenge seeds. It's like you're having a terrible time and you don't really think about the map balance at that point, and then you just play normal or compare a normal seed to that. I don't think about it too much.
I also don't have that many thoughts about it. Like, I think it's mostly fine. Like, it's in the situations where there is like everything in one area and there's nothing else in the others, then like it can be really bad. But usually with the way like items are distributed, it's not super common that you're just like skipping everything. So even when there's multiple bosses together, it's usually okay. As was sort of the case in this seed, like you kind of need to go most places anyway, even with everything clumped.
But I guess that do it for the series. So moving forward, Nitro, you will be playing the winner of Zeb Nevdi, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one. You have any thoughts on that?
I don't necessarily have a preference for who wins. I don't mind if Zeb wins, but I would like to not lose to Zeb because that would make it a repeat of what happened to me in the first Map Rando tournament where I get 5th losing to Osse and Zeb, which would be no good. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. So if Nevdi could prevent that, that would be cool too.
Yep. So that will be happening eventually. I don't think Zeb Nevdi is scheduled just yet, but I see someone in chat hyping it up. Osse moving on to face Eddie in the winners finals. So you have any thoughts on that? Any words to say on broadcast?
I don't know. I don't know what I want to say. It'll be a good race. It'll be a good tournament admin face-off.
Get wrecked, Eddie.
Eddie's going down, of course. I don't think I need to.
You know who WX fan is cheering
directly
for.
say it.
I said it for Rossi. It's okay. I'll take the heat for it.
That's just the feeling in the air. It's just sitting out there now. Eddie might take a loss. Yeah.
Well, there you
There's
go.
a feeling in the air. I think that will do it for us. Y'all have any final thoughts?
I like the series. Nitro's a scary opponent. I played the vanilla, like safe sprites just for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the GG's for me. It was a good series. A little too many shambles my way, but it was a good series overall. GG's.
GG's.
Durup, final thoughts from you?
Just close us out.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you here. For Osse, Nitro, GG's to you both. What a series. For Derp and Lofter, thank you both so much for comms and tracking. I'm WXFan21 saying we will see you next mission.